so they can hear about the opportunity as well. All right. So you guys that have been here from the beginning, you know what the vision is, you know what the reasoning is, but I'm going to tell you again. The vision is to create our own Black owned social casino. Okay. The reason that this idea came about, or how this idea actually came about, was my niece is actually in this industry and has been in this industry for years. And she's very young. She's got the only real job she's ever had. The only real job she's ever had was working for Wells Fargo. And then she's never had another job. So she got on with this lady. This lady taught her everything about this business. And what a lot of people don't know is there's this big underground thing on Facebook. There's a whole underground gambling world on Facebook. And my cousin told me yesterday that it's also on Instagram, which I know nothing about. Okay. So what they do is they actually have these platforms that they basically rent from Chinese companies. I'm like letting out all the secrets right now, but that's what it is. Okay. So they rent these platforms like they're renting a casino. Okay. They're renting a casino for their players to play in. And the casino basically sells them coins. They buy the coins wholesale, and then they upcharge the coins and sell them to whoever wants to play. Somebody's coming in. Hold on. Admit. So they make the spread. That's how they make their money. Okay. It is a very hands-on, very customer interacting type of way of doing this thing. But it's made her a lot of money. Okay. And I get that. And plus, she's young. What's that generation that's younger than millennials? Gen Z or whatever they are. Anyway, so she's 25 years old, and she's got the energy and she's got the wherewithal to deal with, these customers and these players all the time and deal with all that stuff, even though she's getting to the point where she doesn't like dealing with it. I have dealt with customers my entire life. I have had very forward-facing jobs and very forward-facing businesses where I'm all constantly dealing with customers, constantly dealing with selling products, moving products, and so when she was doing the thing, it was none of my business. It just was not my lane at all. Y'all know what my lane is. My lane is health and wellness. I was very, very targeted and very laser focused on building CE Organics and getting everybody as healthy as possible, teaching people how to do blood type, living by blood type, right? So for me, that's all I was interested in. So I never veered into that lane at all. Okay. Now, Jordan worked for her for 3 years, and that was their thing. And that was something that I stayed out of. So one day she invited me to play in her group. She's got a big group on Facebook. So basically come in, go live, because that's just not her forte. She doesn't like to go live, and play, because that's what engages the players. That is what gets the players hyped. That's what makes them excited. That is what gets them to load up. Okay, so when I use the term load up, I know that that's kind of an industry term, and I'm not even up on all the industry terms, but when it comes to Black Sheep, we'll have our own jargon. We'll have our own words, okay? So you will then know. Can you guys still see me? Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll have our own inter-platform jargon that we'll use, but for lack of a better word, load up means that when people come and they come to the casino to play, and they put their money in the machine. Well, right now you don't have to go to the desk and get money. Back in the day, you used to have to do that. Now you can just put your money directly into the slot machine and you get your money. I mean, you start playing, right? So load up means that you are buying coins from them to then go to the platform and play, which is the casino that they rent. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So that's their business. So that gets people, when they see other people playing, it gets them excited, it gets them hyped. They want to play as well, right? So I'm playing and I'm having a good time. And the person that I am, I just like the bells and whistles of slots. I like the excitement. I like the sounds and the sights and all of that, and that's enough for me. But there are people that really get into it and spend their money and win money and all of that, because that's just the nature of going to a casino. There are people that really just love, playing the game, but also winning the game, and they become kind of obsessive about it, right? So I was seeing how this was moving, and in my mind, I'm like, these people are spending a whole lot of money to do this, and I'm watching my niece make a whole lot of money supplying this service to these people. Well, one day Tashina's coming in. So one day she calls me up and she's like, Auntie, I think you can really do this. I said, what are you talking about? She was like, I want to introduce you to these people because I think that you should have your own platform. Now, mind you, this is not the Facebook platform. This is my own casino, like what we're building right now. So I get on the phone with these people and they start talking to me about the possibilities, what it takes, what the software does, and da 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 da. And I'm like, damn, that sounds amazing, because simply what we would be doing, or what I would be doing if I did this by myself, would be pretty much like what I have been doing in network marketing, except my product is fun and community. Okay. So my product is not something I have to physically spend money on or physically stock in my house, which is what I'm used to doing. Even before we made CE Organics, I was with TLC. And then before that, I was with Vita Divina. And before that, I was with this company and that company and that company. And I always had products that I was retailing. When I was with Organo Gold, I literally had a coffee shop in my trunk. So no matter where I went, I could make somebody a cup of coffee, sample somebody in the grocery store from the back of my car. Because I always had water. I always had instant coffee and cups. And I'd be literally taste testing people wherever I went, right? When I tell you guys that I have paid my dues when it comes to network marketing and selling products and pushing products and all of those things, I have 35 years worth. Okay. But I immediately saw the parallel between my level of experience, and even if somebody had a little bit of experience doing that, I immediately saw the parallel between network marketing and this whole industry, right? When it comes to the other side of running it, right? But because of my mindset, which is very much the opposite of my niece's mindset, I mean, we see things alike, but there are a lot of things we do not see the same. And I think that comes from my level of age and my level of experience, and just knowing what the pitfalls are of always being so hands-on and so involved in other people's lives and hearing their sob stories and da 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 da. Because trust and believe, these hardcore gamblers will always have a sob story. Like, oh, my baby needs milk. Da 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 da. Ba ba ba. Can you give me some free coins? Right? I don't want to be involved in people's lives at that level ever again, because trust and believe me, as tiring as it sounds, it's more tiring to deal with, because we all have our own issues to deal with, but then we're also taking on everybody else's issues, right? We all have our own lives that we have to manage, but then people always want us to manage theirs. So that's a difficult thing to do when you're doing it with thousands of people, right? So I've been there, I've done that, I have the t-shirt. When I thought about the opportunity, even as the man was talking to me, I thought about it in a network marketing way. However, without the network marketing structure. I have no interest in the dog eat dog network marketing structure ever again, because that is a very dog eat dog. Excuse me, sir. That is a very dog eat dog industry, and it can be very, very hardcore. I wanted something that would make people real residual income. Because in the network marketing industry, they're always talking about, oh, yeah, you can make a residual income. Blah, blah, blah. They don't give you how, they don't tell you how you make real residual income. Okay. And that's what I'm going to do today. Fats, please be quiet. Please be quiet. He just has so much back talk today. So the real way that you make residual income in network marketing is you have to put people on auto ship, meaning you sign them up for a subscription. Now, that's not that far off because everything that we have in life is a subscription, right? Meaning you're paying one time, you're starting up the service one time and you're paying for it every single month. That's every utility we have in our house. That's your mortgage, that's your rent, that's your electricity, that's your gas, that's your water, that's your trash, that's all of everything that we do is a subscription. So people already are used to that. However, people don't necessarily want an auto ship for something that is a nice to have service. Okay. When it comes down to the economy and the recession, the first thing to go are things that are nice to have. Am I wrong? Okay. The first thing to go are things that you're like, I was living before that. I can live without that. Right. So you start cutting back on things that are considered to be nice to have things. And that is health and wellness. That is skincare. That is all these things. Even though health and wellness isn't a necessity, people literally will go without it if it comes down to paying their electricity bill, right? Or buying some groceries. They're like, yo, I got to cancel this auto ship because I can't have $100 a month coming out and I don't even remember, because that's usually what it is. I don't remember signing up for this because I get hit with subscription shit all the time. I'll look and I'm like, damn, I forgot I signed up for that. Oh, damn, I forgot that HBO Max just came out. So when you look, you have all of these different subscriptions coming out and you don't know where your money is gone. That's what an auto ship is. And a lot of people are afraid of that, right? So that's what makes it difficult for people to make real residual income in network marketing. Plus, you get such a small percentage when people are doing an auto ship. Because in order to entice somebody to do an auto ship, sometimes they have to lower the amount of the products just to even entice them. So that then is also cutting into your profit margin. So you're working harder almost and not smarter. So for me, it just was never lucrative enough for me to try to talk somebody into auto ship, right? The way that I made my money, I never made less than $200,000 a year in network marketing. Once I got to that point where I built up a big team, I never made less than that. Okay. So I was considered to be one of the leaders because realistically, when people come into network marketing, they don't really make money. There's only a handful of people that make money in network marketing. The rest of them are on the bottom of the pyramid. Okay. And the pyramid is what holds up the network marketing structure. So you have to literally take years to work your way up to being a leader. And when you become a leader, you have a team. And generally what happens is if you leave one company and go to another company, then your team follows you. Okay. So the team concept is something that I wanted to keep because the team concept is going to make the co-founders a lot of money. Okay. But what would I throw out about that? One being on top of one another, because it's almost like a crab in a barrel type of scenario that I don't like. Okay. So the team concept we're definitely taking from network marketing, right? Because even if you go and do an affiliate thing on another platform, it's not going to be the way we're doing it here at Black Sheep. Okay. So another thing that we are keeping from the network marketing thing is just spreading the word. The reason that network marketing is so powerful is because people trust word of mouth more than they trust commercials. So I know you guys have seen, these casino or these slots ads on all the platforms. They're everywhere. Once you start talking about slots, or if you sit on one long enough, then you're going to see a bunch of ads because that's what the algorithm is going to do. So you're going to always, when you're scrolling, see these, join this slots game, join that slots game. Now, our slots thing is not going to be an app that you have to download into your phone. It is a platform that people go to, like going to Facebook or whatever. You can go through the browser or you can go through your app. Ours goes through the browser. So you don't have to download the app into your phone. I don't want to download anything else on my phone. Okay? That's just me. And the way that I generally like to build things, or the way that I do build things, are if I don't want to do it, I don't think other people want to do it either. I'm just being realistic. Okay? That if I don't want to do, I just believe that if I don't want to do it, a lot of other people don't want to do it either. So I just believe everybody's just as tired of shit as I am. I could be wrong though. You know what I mean? So I try to keep things as simple as possible because I understand the age group that we're dealing with. Okay, no shade to us older folks, us folks that are past middle age, because literally middle age is 35. They want you to think that middle age is 50, but not too many people are living to be 100 years old anymore, right? So those of us that are past middle age and we're being hit with all of this technology, everything is changing faster than we can keep up with it. I don't want people to have to struggle to figure out how to get to black sheep sweeps. Does that make sense? I'm just trying to keep it simple. All right. So in doing that, we keep the team culture, but something that I really liked about what my niece and the rest of those groups are doing is having the groups. Because when you have a group of people that believe in you and follow you, and let's be honest, a lot of people do want to be led. They are always looking for a leader. Okay? And that's what the co-founders will be. They're always looking for somebody to show them a better way, to open up a door, to guide them. And that's, there's no shade to anybody, but that's just human nature. Okay? So there's always going to be people that are needed to do that. And that's what a flock leader does. That's what a shepherd does. So when I thought of what could I name this entity, black sheep immediately popped into my mind because, first of all, me and my niece are both the black sheep of the family. Me more so than her. Okay. And what black sheep has always meant to me is just someone that is not going to do what everybody else is doing. Okay. Everybody else is going in that direction. I'm going to go over here in this direction. And it's not because I'm honoring that's probably 60% of it. However, it is because generally, if people are all just going in one direction, then there's probably a lot of opportunity being left unmined in the other direction. And that's always been my mindset. Okay. If everybody is doing that, I've already taken my meds. Thank you. If everybody is doing that, then maybe I should do this. Okay. And so if everybody is doing that, that means there is an opportunity for us to do something different. So black sheep also represents uniqueness. It represents a level of rebellion. It represents, a free thinker. And those are the people that are going to gravitate towards this opportunity because a lot of people are not early adopters. Because when you look around at what it is that we all are on every day and what we're all doing every day, like Facebook, imagine the people that right now are kicking themselves because Mark Zuckerberg came along and said, hey, I have this fantastic idea for this platform. I'm giving you an opportunity to be a part of it. I know those people are kicking themselves today. Like, damn, I could have been a part of Facebook. I could have been right up there with Mark Zuckerberg. Think about how Steve Jobs felt. Think about how all of these people, what's the man's name? Jeff Bezos. Okay. Jeff Bezos was working on Amazon from his garage. And now Amazon is a beast. It is a monster. Imagine the people that he talked to at the beginning to get them to believe in his vision and to get them to invest in it. Okay. As we see right now, you have all of these different industries, all of these cryptocurrencies and Bitcoins and this, that, and the other. And look at how much money those things lost. Okay. I have never been because I've worked in the stock market, I've never really invested in the stock market. Only because when I was working in the stock market, I saw that it was just too unpredictable for me. Because again, I'm not really a gambler. I never have been a gambler. Okay. But I am a person that notices what other people do and how I can make money off of what other people do. If that makes me a shark, fine. I'll be a shark. Okay. But I've been in sales since I was 18 years old and I'm 56 now. Okay. And I in school took marketing and psychology and I know what moves human beings. So just knowing that somebody created something from a vision in their mind and gave other people opportunities to also come along with them has always been my mindset. I don't want to be the boss bitch. I don't want to be the only one on top. I don't want to be the only one making money and everybody else is asking for it. I want all of us to make money together. Because that, first of all, is such a novel idea now because we've gotten so far away from being unified, right? It's been every man for themselves for the past few decades now. And as we see, that's not really working out for us at all. Okay. So when this concept was presented to me, I immediately thought, I'm definitely going to do that. But with more research, because of how I am, with more research, the opportunity that my niece presented to me was not the one I wanted to do. Okay. I didn't like the setup. I didn't like the people that I talked to because it seemed like to me they couldn't really answer my questions. They couldn't tell me when it was going to be done. They couldn't tell me, it almost seemed like everything we talked about was an extra this. It costs extra to do that. It costs extra to do this. Well, what about this? Is that included in the platform? Oh, no, that's another extra thing. Okay. So it just always seemed like everything that I wanted on the platform was going to be like they were selling me an a la carte. But the thing is, the a la carte was already expensive. The foundation of the a la carte was already expensive. And then you're telling me that all the other things that I want to create this beautiful entree is going to also cost a shit ton of money. And then on top of that, you couldn't even answer my basic questions. So I fell down a rabbit hole and looked at other companies that do the same thing and found one that I think is perfect for us. Okay. And the fact that they are basically the competitor of the main one that I looked at, okay, is they will work harder to make sure that whatever it is that we like, they're going to do. Because of course they want to win that business, right? But I am able to talk to the company owner, that I'm able to make suggestions on, I would like to see this in the future and this, that, and the other. So all of these different things are being added to the platform. And I love that because that always will keep us engaged and also keep our players engaged and coming back to see what's next. So with Black Sheep Sweeps, this is a Black owned social casino. And social casinos right now blew up during COVID. Okay. So when people were not allowed to go outside and to go to these places, that is when those platforms really gain traction. And those platforms have not lost. They've only exploded since then. Okay. So here we are dealing with numbers. Let me see if I can. I'm just going to go over here and show y'all myself. I can't share my screen, unfortunately, because I don't know how, but I'll just read the numbers to you. Okay. Let me know. Please tell me with your voice that you can still see me, because I'm going to.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I'm looking at other stuff. So, what ChatGTP? Because y'all know ChatGTP is my assistant, pretty much. I asked, I need a short reason why casinos are hot right now to invest in. Casinos are hot right now because the industry has gone digital and global. So players no longer need Vegas. Those of you that know me know I live in Vegas, right? And I see all of these casinos, but the only thing that Vegas has going on right now are the locals. No one is flying into Vegas anymore. Like, the airport is dead. When we first got out here, that airport was so packed because they even have games at the airport. So people in the airport gambling, playing, right? Now you can go to the airport and it is a ghost town. Why? Because of the economy, because of Trumponomics, right? And the fact that nobody has the money, or it's not that they don't have the money, they don't have the will or the desire to come here anymore. Okay? Because we've made it so, and Vegas literally ran on foreigners. It literally ran on people coming here from other countries, because Vegas is where you go to play. There are two main places that people will travel to go for heavy gambling. That is Macau, which is in China, and Vegas, okay, or Atlantic City. And now the foreigners, the Canadians, the Russians, and all these other foreigners are no longer coming here because they do not feel welcome in this country. So the economy in Vegas has tanked, okay? So now all of the casinos in this town are online. All of them, as individual casinos. So if you don't necessarily like that casino, you're not going, and they all have apps. So what if you like 3 or 4 different casinos? You're going to download 3 or 4 different apps on your phone? I'm not, right? So that's another thing. With us, you know, Vegas is no longer hot, but people no longer need Vegas, but they still have the thrill. They still want the thrill of playing slots. Like, of all the gambling money, slots make 66% of what gambling takes in every year. Slots. Okay. Yeah, there are people that like poker. Yeah, there are people that like baccarat. There are people that like, bingo, right? But slots is the one that makes the majority of the money. So online gaming and sweepstakes platforms are booming due to massive player demand. Okay. Massive player demand for entertainment and quick rewards. Now, if we look back at history, let's just take Sinners, for example. The only reason that's still top of mind for me is that me and my cousin were talking the other day, and he just saw Sinners the day before we talked. We talked on Friday. He just watched Sinners on Thursday because he thought it was some old slave era shit, and he doesn't subscribe to that, which I don't either, right? But what is it that they were trying to establish in Sinners? A juke joint, right? Think of the time period. The time period was what, in the 20s, 30s? And they were creating a juke joint. What was inside the juke joint? Food, drinking, gambling, a little bit of prostitution thrown in there, but they only briefly touched on that. Okay? The vices that everybody will continue to do no matter how bad the economy gets. Gambling has always been viewed as a form of entertainment for people and quick rewards. Very low investment, but quick rewards, right? That also falls into the lottery mindset. Okay. So when you go and look at all the 1920s, 1930s, 1940 era movies about Black people, more than likely they were running numbers or playing what they call policy, or they had juke joints where it would be gaming and casino games and all those things. Think Harlem Nights, think Hoodlum, think mobsters. Now, mobsters was the white side of it, but that's a whole different thing. But there has always, for centuries, been some form of gambling, whether that's just throwing bones or throwing dice or whatever it was. Even if you go back to ancient times, there are still forms of gambling. Okay, they were doing something to win something from somebody else. Okay, so this is not a new and novel idea. It's just one that we are allowing to use us to hold it up, but we're not gaining anything from it. Okay, so online gaming and sweepstakes platforms are booming due to massive player demand, 24/7 accessibility. Okay, on phones and tablets. Having slots right at your fingertips in a mobile first way is definitely more convenient than getting in your car and driving over to a smoke-filled casino. You can be laying in your bed playing your favorite slots. You can be on your phone anywhere, hair salon, nail salon, at the spa, getting a massage, playing slots on your phone. There's no limit to where you can play your games, right? People want options, they want accessibility. And that's what online sweepstakes gives them. With online sweepstakes, there's very low overhead, but very high return. We don't have to invest millions and millions of dollars into getting the land, building a physical casino, getting the licensing, and all of these other things that have stopped Black people from investing in this industry. A lot of reasons why Black people are locked out of industries is because we don't have the money. Right? There would have been more Black owned casinos if Black people had had millions of dollars at their fingertips. As it stands, there's only one Black man that ever owned a casino, a physical one, and he's gone. Okay. So now all of those barriers to wealth have been knocked down for us, especially if we're going to do it together. Fats, please go lay down. I'm not going to be much longer. I know, boo-boo. Go lay down. I'm coming. Okay. So those barriers to wealth are no longer there. Because if we're doing it together and we're all putting a little bit of something in on it, I got 5 on it, I put a little something on it, then together we can build this thing. If it was just one person, then yeah, I'd have to come up out of my pocket for $100,000. Now, I don't doubt that I would make that back in record time. I really don't. But what is the point of me becoming a millionaire by myself? That doesn't look like fun for me. You know, if I was just a selfish person and wanted to hoard everything around, that would be I don't think like that, right? I feel like more can be accomplished if more people are involved, because the goal for us getting this wealth is so that we can finally again create Black owned businesses in the community. Okay, let me see who's got their, see if somebody else is coming in. Okay, you guys can mute yourself if you have some stuff going on in the background. Okay, so being able to have the money to build the grocery stores, having the money to build our own hair salons and our own nail shops, our own beauty supply stores. We don't have to depend on other people to do that, right? Our own dry cleaners again, our own bowling alleys again, our own movie theaters again. What are the barriers to us having those businesses now? Money, right? Because it takes money to make money. And you can dream, because I'm going to tell you what my dream is. I'm going to tell you. It is not this. This is a means to an end for me. Okay. I have always, and this may sound stupid to you guys, but I'm just a very practical person. I have always wanted to own laundromats. Okay. When I think, you feel me on the laundromat thing?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It's never going out. It's kind of gonna always play.
Ever. People are always gonna need to wash their clothes.
All the way.
Okay. Another business I've always wanted to own is public storage.
All right, yeah.
People are always going to need public storage. The third thing that I wanted to own were parking lots. The reason that I started wanting to own a parking lot is because when we were living in LA, just finding a parking space. I mean, if you just look in Atlanta, if you I found I had to go to a meeting downtown LA, and finding parking was just ridiculous. We're driving around almost late for this meeting, and we finally found this little parking lot that had like 25 spaces. And let me just tell y'all, whenever I look at anything, I always just see dollar signs. I always see, how is it if I own that, how could I make money from that? Like my sisters could bake. Like my one sister bakes like you wouldn't believe. My other sister could cook like you wouldn't believe. And every time they made something and put it in front of me, I'm like, you can get $15 for this plate. And she'd be like, girl, just eat your food. Just enjoy. I'm like, why are you not catering? Like, why do you not have a restaurant? Like, why are you struggling at a job? Like, why don't you have a bakery? They used to get so sick of me because I'm always thinking, how can you turn your passion into pay? And they just didn't think like that. So again, that's why I'm a black sheep. So I saw this parking lot, and there was just this one man standing there, and he literally was selling parking spaces for $20 an hour. Think about that for a second. You got to go in here in this place. You're going to be in there for 3 hours. That one parking space just made him $60. And those parking spaces are going to turn over all day, every day, 24 hours a day, just money. Okay. No, you got you own the parking lot. You got 2 employees, one to work during the day and one to work at night. And you just flipping parking spaces, no overhead, no nothing. That's what I want for us. Why don't we own the parking spaces? Why don't we own the laundromats? Why don't we own the public storage places that are making a minimum of $200 a month just for space? No overhead, no serious amount of employees, one to work during the day and one to work at night. It's self-storage. Why don't we own those places? Money. We didn't have the money to do it. It's not that we lack the ideas, it's that we lack the funds, right? Okay. A lot of us could get a lot further in life if we had the money, or if we had enough people to invest in that. And this is how, and this is definitely an Black American thing. Black America has definitely separated us from our roots. Okay. Because our roots are community. Our roots are unity. Our roots are doing things together. And as Black people, Black Americans are the only ones that think the way we think. And we got to do it alone. We got to kick our kids out of the house at 18. They need to have their own house. Not in other communities. If you go to Africa, them kids are still in the house until they get married. You go to Africa, the parents are still paying for college, even if the kids are married and living out of the house, it is still the parent's job to pay for whatever education those kids want to have. Okay. You do not see people kicking their kids out. You see generations of people living in one household. It's only in America that we are taught to do it alone. And that is not something I've subscribed to. And I honestly believe that my mindset changed from bad bitch mindset, I'm doing it alone, to the mindset that I have now because I lived in Nigeria for 2 years. That's why. That's exactly how. Because I saw how we were so different than them. You know, they were all about, and I'm not saying that they don't have their issues, because they certainly do. But the core things that I took away from it is we're not throwing our kids away. We're going to build legacy and community for our kids, and we're going to all do it together. And that's not what's happening in America. And that is by design. Okay? We are literally the only Black people, the only ones that are putting our kids out. White kids can go to school and come right back home to their parents' house. Not our kids. Our kids got to come here and pay rent and pay utilities and I'm teaching you how to be responsible. Well, how are they going to move out if they're paying bills in your house? Okay? How can they afford to move out if they're already paying bills? You're putting them in the same position that you would be in. And that's not going to help your kids. So again, legacy is very important to me. And this is something that will build a legacy, not just for our families, but for the Black community. Because there was a time, and I know people want to frown on this, and I think we are all triggered just by red hats, but we haven't thought deeper about what it really means to make America great again. Because when we hear about making America great again, we think about how white people were once great. But we never think about when we were great, because we were never taught when we were great. Nobody ever showed when we were great. This is what we have Black History Month for, right? Black History Month is to show us all the Black inventors and what, boop, 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 woo, woo, woo. They never talk about how Black people at a certain time for certain decades that we were more industrious and we were richer than everyone else in the country. They never talk about those 50 years, okay, when we ran shit, when they were burning down 1,200 cities that we built from the ground up with our own stores and even our own newspapers and even our own mayors and whole city management, just done by Black people. Why were we never taught about that? Why were we never taught about that? Because that will go back to us having a different version of the Bible. Why did we have the slave Bible? Because the slave Bible didn't teach about revolts. It didn't teach about Exodus. It didn't teach about escaping. It didn't teach about all of the things that are wrong with slavery. It told you to obey your earthly masters. It told you to turn the other cheek. It told us to do all these things. This is why we are the way we are today. Because all of that stuff plays into our health. Okay? All of it. All of these things are entwined together. And there are a lot of things that we have been taught that we need to be unlearned. And the number one thing is, yes, we can do shit together. Yes, we can actually unite. Because we have been saying it so much to ourselves. Black people don't never unite. Black people don't. That it's become a mantra. Right? Black people don't provide good service. It's become a mantra. I provide good ass service. If I mess your order up, I end up sending you extra shit. Like if I done sent you the wrong stuff, I tell you go ahead and keep it. I'm gonna send you the right stuff because I'm gonna make sure that I earn your business. Money is too hard to come by for people to be giving me money for the wrong shit, right? And a lot of Black businesses think the same way. So when we say, "Oh, Black businesses," that Black business, Don't do that. Okay, because we are now the ones that are perpetuating this stereotype. We are perpetuating it. And so this is what I say. He says, yes, she does. This is what I say when I say we sometimes will contribute to our own demise because we are the ones putting out these negative stereotypes about us. They started them, but we're the ones that are perpetuating them. And that is always going to deter people from doing anything black owned, right? And another thing is, why is it so weird to hear black owned? Whenever we, now mind you, you don't ever have to say white owned, because why? Somebody can answer that for me. Why do we never have to hear white owned?
Yeah, because the assumption in it, it's always that assumption.
Because they already do.
Yeah.
They already own it.
Whites own all the black conglomerates as well that black people started, and they buy them out.
Yeah. Like all the black owned hair companies, like Carol's Daughter and all of those ones that were made by black women, the conglomerates came along and bought them out. So they are no longer owned. Did y'all see that Tyler Perry bought back BET?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember when BET was sold? I do.
Yeah, they got
Y'all remember that? Viacom came and bought them.
And they split it in the marriage, but then both of them sold their parts.
Yep.
Because they came after them.
So now Tyler Perry owns BET and VH1.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Because now we can get back to our own black media. We need our own news that we don't hear about on their news, on mainstream media. Remember when we had BET, they used to have news shows on BET? When did we have black news? Now when we get black news, we got to go watch Joy Reid or Don Lemon on YouTube or whatever, right? But now we actually have these whole platforms again. And look how long it's taken us to get there. It's been like, what, 30 years since we've owned BET? It's been like 30 years. Oprah tried it, but then she made it all white.
They should bring back the VH1 divas then. Yeah, should tell Tyler to bring back that. That's good.
They should bring back all the old BET, everything. Okay? We have got to stop being apologetic about our culture. Everybody wants our culture, but then it's like we are out here apologizing for being too black, right? Because too black has become synonymous with ghetto, even though they can package ghetto up and sell it right back to the white masses. Everything that we do that's considered ghetto, when they do it, they can mass produce it and sell it to people. But when we do it, we're ghetto. I am unapologetically ghetto. I may not look like I'm ghetto, but my heart is very ghetto. Trust and believe. I am not afraid to walk in the hood. I'm not afraid to be around black people. I'm not going to cross the street if I see a gang of black people walking towards me. I'm going to walk across the street with a gang of white people walking towards me. I'm not afraid of my people. I never have been, because I've been able to communicate with the lowest of the low and the highest of the high. I was friends with everybody. I can speak everybody's language, right? I can make the lowest of the low feel high. It doesn't even take code switching for me to do, and I don't look down on any of our people, because I know that the struggle is real for our people. And so my heart and my sympathies always go out to black people, period. I don't feel like I have to apologize for that. And I'm not going to. So if people have a problem with me being unapologetic about saying I want this to be a black-owned thing with black people, owned by black people, and operated by black people and promoted by black people, I mean that shit. Y'all got enough shit y'all can go and do. You don't have to come over here. There needs to be more safe spaces for Black people. Period. Where we can just be us. We ain't got to put on no airs. We ain't got to act like we somebody other than ourselves. We don't have to do that. And that is what contributes to us having more of these diseases than everybody else, is because we have to change it to somebody else just to enter some spaces. And I'm not going to do it. If you require me to come to an event and I can't wear gym shoes, I'm not coming. Period. I will glitz and glamour it up. The suit is going to be banging, but I'm going to have on some Nikes. Okay? Because if you require me to be in heels to come to your event, I'm not coming. Because that's not who I am. And I'm not showing up as an imposter. So I want Black Sheep to be a place where people can come and be. And when I can figure out how to play hip hop music on a platform where people are playing games, trust and believe that's coming. I mean that shit.
You can, because you make your own beats.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna be. We ain't gonna be no ding 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 ding. Nah. We're gonna have who's a Black Sheep, is a Black Sheep. That's what's gonna be playing on our platform. That's why our shit's gonna be different.
You've got those apps now that will write you a song just like that, and then you can write the beats, and you can write the lyrics, and you can write Tracy Wilburn, Black Sheep Crew, da 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 da.
Trust and believe is going to be done. This is not something that we can't customize to our liking. This is not just something you're just getting some shit out the box. This is something we can do whatever we want to do with it. Okay? And that's what we're going to do. Now let's talk about the money part of it. Okay? Let me go over here and
you just have to split it so it be the thing on the screen and not you.
Well, let me see if that works. I got these things popping up. You said to flip it to where it's not. Hold on. Oh, maybe. Hold on a second. It's asking about all of these things. I don't know what to push to do that. Like when I click on video, all of these things pop up. Okay. All of these things pop up, but it doesn't say. It's like choose avatar, choose video filter. But I'm going to post these things on in the group anyway, as soon as we finish the live. So you'll see them there, but let's just talk about them here. Okay. So with the we have different levels of investment. That was a thing that we took from network marketing. Okay. You can decide how you want to start and how much you want to invest when you join a network marketing company. Any network marketing company I have ever joined, because I was a leader and because I wanted to make the most money, I always came in at the top spot. Okay, so that's exactly how this is set up. But I also understand everybody can't do what I do. Everybody can't afford to do what I do, and everybody's not in the position to do what I do. So we had these other tiers that people could join on because there were just people that are like, let me get my foot in the door. I'll work my way up. There's two types of equity. There's equity that you buy and equity that you sweat for. Okay. If you cannot afford to start at the top, there's not a problem with that. Okay. Ain't nobody looking down their nose like, oh, she on the low rung. No, everybody is a Black sheep. I don't give a shit how little of a Black sheep you are. I don't care if you're a black little lamb, because one day you're going to be a shepherd. Okay. I want y'all to know that, and don't feel bad that you don't have the money to come in at the top spot. Okay. Because everybody here has the ability to work their way up. All right. And that's something I was going to talk to you about, Miss. Shut up, Fats. Shut up. Fats, be quiet. Oh, there is a whole group of Black people walking across the parking lot. They're not coming in here, Fats. It just came from brunch. He is so nosy. He's just like, what are they doing? Da, 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 da. We don't own that parking lot yet. We don't own that parking lot yet, Fats. So anyway, so don't feel good boy, Fat Daddy. Thank you, top flight security. Okay, now he goes back. Comes over to check in. Am I doing the right thing? Yes. Let me go back and bark again. I just set up a monster. So do not ever feel bad that you cannot come in at the top. That does not mean you can't make it to the top. Okay? All right. So the top one that we have is called the Crowned Shepherd. Okay? The Crowned Shepherd is a 10. Please get out from under the desk, Fats. Please, please, please get. Go. Go. Thank you. Because he will flip this whole table over. All right. So the top one is called a Crowned Shepherd. As a crowned. Oh my gosh. As a crowned shepherd, okay, let me tell you what it is that you get. We have upped the crowned shepherd profit sharing to 5%. Okay. That means you are going to earn 5% every single month of whatever it does that the profit of the platform does every single month. That means after bills are paid, after the processor is paid, after the games, because we own the casino, but the way the games work, because we're going to have over 3,000 games, the companies charge every month for us using their games. So it'll be like 7%, I think was the lowest, up to 11% every month. So we have to pay them to use their games. That's how they make money. So we don't buy the games. Thank God we don't have to buy the games, because that would be really pricing us out. But we are renting the games, not the platform. That's the difference between my niece and us. She's renting the casino with the platforms. We get the games, but we have to pay for the usage every month. So those are the bills that come out before profit. Does that make sense to everybody? So with the top one, it is a $10,000 investment, but what you are making is 30% of every single dollar that your referred player loads up with. So I want to clarify how you get paid. Okay. Your player gets your affiliate number. They come and they sign up as a player. We're going to set it up to whereas they can sign in with Google or Facebook, right? We're going to make the process so easy for your players to register. Okay. So when your player is down at the bottom after filling out their information, it's going to say who referred you, or enter your flock leader. We're going to come up with something clever. Your flock leader's number or code. What I was going to call it was co-founder code. So CFC is what it's going to be. Okay. So enter your CFC number. When they enter that number, that is now your player for life. That means nobody else is going to get paid when your player is playing on the platform. Okay. So when your player comes to the casino and they want to play, it's kind of like back in the old days, they had to go and load up at the desk. Okay. So before they can play any slots, they have to load up. So let's say that your player loaded up $50. You are going to earn 30% of that $50. Not what they won, not what they lost, but what they loaded up with. If they walk away with nothing after playing, you still earned 30% of that $50 every single time they come back and play. Now let's multiply that times a certain amount of players. Okay. Let me show you what that's looking like. Let me go over to my folder. Okay. Let me just crunch some numbers with you. So as a crowned shepherd, You got 5 players that played this week, and they all played $50 each, right? So that's a $250 weekly load that your players did this week. You earn 30% of that. That's $75 in your pocket. Just with 5 players. You didn't have to do anything. All you did was go out on the internet, post about Black Sheep. You talk to people at church about Black Sheep. I'm involved in this, casino thing. Or, I have this group, that we play these games. I can keep you from having to go to a casino. You can have a casino in your pocket, right? You're posting, you're using word of mouth, the same things that you would be doing if you were in network marketing. You would be talking to every single person because every single person is a potential customer. Same thing. You're going to events, you're going to homecomings, you're going to your affiliate meetings, you're involved in the community. You got a whole slew of people that could be coming to our casino instead of going to their casinos. Okay. So when those people go and play, just with 5 people loading up $50 each, your percentage is $75. Now, let's say that's 25 people that loaded up with $50 this week. You done worked your way up to 25 people that are playing $50. Mind you, $50 is not even the average. The average customer spends $200 on the platform every week. I'm lowballing the numbers, okay? Because I want the numbers to be realistic. And that means realistic is always low, okay? Because we always try to manage everybody's expectations, okay? So the average player on these social casinos spends $200 a week. So let's just say they're loading up 50. So 25 players, that brings in $1,250 this week that your players have put into the system. That made you at 30%, $375. You didn't do nothing. You've given these people your code one time, and they are your player forever. So when they come back next week and spend another $50, and the next week and spend another $50 or $200 or $500 or $1,000, because conceivably your player could be loading up $1,000, because that's generally a very common thing for people that gamble physically, okay, and gamble online do. So what do you make out of $1,000 if you are 30%? $300. So you got 25 players that played with $50, but you had one that played with $1,000. So you got the 30% of the 50, and you got 30% of the 1,000. So your money this week jumped to $675 from your 26 players. That's crazy, right? So your monthly money on just 5 players is $300. Remember, we're lowballing here. Because imagine if all 5 of those people played $200 each, which is the average. Okay? So your monthly money on 25 people is $1,500. Playing at $50 at 30% earnings. 100 people a month. So 100 people this week, 100 of your players this week loaded up $50 each. Because that's what it's going to get to. Because this is going to progressively grow. So even if you're starting out and you got 5 players, eventually you're going to have 25. Eventually you're going to have 100. Right? So that's $5,000 that your players loaded up to the platform this week. That means at 30%, you're getting $1,500 this week just from them doing $50. Now, mind you, the minimum load on the platform is only going to be $10. Most of the platforms that people go to, their minimum is either 20 or 25. We're going to make ours 10. So we're going to make ours very user-friendly, very approachable. You don't have to be balling out of control to play, right? But remember, even if they load up 10, you're still getting 30% of that. So you got 100 players at $50 this week. Your weekly earnings was $1,500 for this week, and then your monthly earnings was $6,000 for the month. Now, I forgot to mention again, or to remind you guys, that with the Crown Shepherd, you're getting 5% of the profit sharing every month on top of your weekly pay that adds up to your monthly pay. So your monthly pay is $6,000. Your profit sharing is going to be 5%. So let's say the profit this month was $20,000, which that's so incredibly low. Let's make it better. Let's say it's $100,000. You're making another 5% on top of the $6,000. That's every month, and that's forever. So unlike the stock market that is unpredictable, that you don't know what Trump's going to say today to make the stock market crash, with Bitcoin, you don't know what they're going to do to make the Bitcoin crash. You don't know what they're going to do. That 5% is forever.
Yeah, because the stock is all word of mouth.
It's forever. Okay? Your players are forever. So you get up to 500 players because you're going to eventually have 500 players. 500 people is nothing. We have billions and billions of people on the planet. You mean to tell me you can't wrap your mind around having 500 of those in your Facebook group? We got 800 in the Healed by Blood Type group right now. There's 9,000 potential players in the Black Sheep group that I have. 9,000. So when we roll out, I'm just going to be like, let's go. Let's go play. Okay? Because I've been building. You got 500 players. That's 25,000 that goes into the platform this week, just from your players. Okay? That means you earned $7,500 this week from your players, doing just 50. Then you know damn well them people ain't gonna do just $50. So on the low end, you're gonna be bringing in $7,500. Guess what your monthly is? $30,000. Now I gotta see some faces here. Okay? Because I know it's very difficult for people to wrap their minds around that kind of money, right? And to be honest, Black people have been brainwashed into believing that having money is scary. You even have people make songs like "More Money, More Problems." Guess what? Everybody has problems. I don't give a shit how much money you're earning. Every level of earning that you are on, you are going to have fucking problems. Okay? That's just life. Life is not problemless. You're just going to have a whole different set of problems. I want to see what those problems are like. You feel me? I know what these problems are like. I know what problems were like when I had way less money. I know what problems were like when I lived in a studio apartment. I know what problems were like when I was homeless. I want to see what the problems are like when I'm making $30,000 a month. I want to see what that's like. Right? We got to not be afraid. Uh-oh, come on, Jesse. We got to not be afraid of believing that we deserve that money.
Do you also get it off like their winnings as well?
Say it again.
Do you also get it off their winnings? So like if they hit the jackpot, do we get something off the jackpot as well?
No, you don't get paid off of their winnings. You don't get paid off of people's winnings. You get paid when they load up. So you're going to make your money regardless of if they win or lose. You don't get paid off somebody's winnings. You get paid on what they load up to play.
Yeah.
And that makes it even more steady. Yes, okay? You want to have steady, unpredictable money. You want to be able to quantify what you're going to make from your hard work. Because them winning is just chance. You know what I mean? So, but here's the interesting part about that. We have leaderboards where you, as a leader, if you're leading your group to doing a certain amount of money, then you're going to win bonuses and prizes, and there will be quarterly bonuses and things like that. As we grow, we're going to be sharing with the co-founders. So it's not just going to be the money that you're going to be making from your players. You're also going to be getting bonuses. That could be trips, that could be electronics, that could be new iPhones, that could be new computers, that could be any of these fun things that are also going to be incentives for you guys to work harder in getting your people to load up and getting more people in your group. Okay, so those are aspects of my niece's group that I definitely liked. She's always doing things to get her players engaged and always doing things that keep people coming back. And she's always running little competitions. That's what's going to make it really super fun for the co-founders, because you guys, some of y'all are competitive. Most people that adopt early to ideas are competitive people. So y'all gonna want to win. You're gonna want your group to load up. You're gonna want just for bragging rights, because it's gonna say on the front that this group won this week. This group is at the top this week, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, not next week. Next week's gonna be my group." Da, da, da. That shit's fun. So that's an aspect of MLM that I stole from that industry, because competition makes people work. People have a real fear of missing out on things, and that's a psychological thing, and that's something that actually works to keep people motivated and keeping people excited. Okay. So back to the let's go to the other numbers, because I know sometimes saying that a $10,000 investment to anybody might be a little bit daunting and a little bit intimidating. So the Crown Shepherd at the top is 30%. It's a $10,000 investment, but it's 30% every time your customer, every time I call them customers, but every time your player loads up, you're making 30%. You're getting paid that 30% on a weekly basis. Okay? You're getting paid that 30% every single week. But you're also getting a 5% profit sharing, and that is paid out every single month. So you're getting weekly pay and monthly pay when you're at that level. Okay? So the level down from that is an Alpha RAM. An Alpha RAM is a $5,000 investment. You're still getting 30%, but you're getting a 3%. We upped it to 3 from 2. Okay. So now you're getting a 3% profit sharing every single month. And let's look at those numbers real quick. 5 players gets you $75. 5 players at $50 gets you $75. Your monthly earnings is $300. But 100 players gets you $5,000 a week. You having 100 players just playing $50 that week makes you $5,000 that week. Oh, I'm sorry. That makes the platform $5,000 that week. Okay. Remember, that goes into the profit sharing. Your money is $1,500. So $1,500, you have done nothing but shared your affiliate number. They came and signed up and went and played. You didn't have to talk to them. This is the difference. This is the part I didn't have to take from network marketing. I never have to talk to those people again. I don't have to hear them on my phone. I don't have to hear complaints. I don't have to hear none of that shit. Okay. Now, mind you, these people are going to be in your group and you're going to be able to engage them as that and the other, but that's just through posting. They may pop up on chats, but that's a totally different beast from somebody buying hundreds of dollars of products that they can't sell. You don't understand the level of stress that you have to deal with when you're trying to teach people how to sell a product. Okay? Everybody ain't built for that. I am no longer built for that. I was built for that for decades, but I don't want to do that no more. Okay? This is a no-brainer. This This is what true residual income looks like, because you're doing something one time and you're getting paid forever. This is the biggest difference between MLM and black sheep sweeps, because you are truly getting residual income. Okay. You are signing this person up one time, every single time they come and play, even if they just don't come but once a month. That is still going to be your customer forever. Okay. So at 1,000, at 100 players doing $50 a week as a alpha ram, that's a $5,000 investment. Monthly, you're making $6,000 a month. That's just 100. Let's say you got up to 200. You got up to 200 players that you've registered, and out of that 200, 100 comes consistently and spends $50 a week. You're still making $6,000 a month. What happens when you die? This is why MLM is so different. What happens when you die and you got kids? You don't even have to have kids. You can just have somebody that you love enough to want to let them inherit your account. So now you got 6,000. You got, let's just say, for shits and giggles, you got 300 customers and you die. You got 300 players that are consistently coming and to the platform and playing every single week. $6,000 a week is coming into your bank account. That now you get to bequeath that account to someone else. And that person is going to continue to make $6,000 a month from your 100 out of the 300 players that you have signed up. Every single month, they're going to get that money. That is the difference. I'm a leader at TLC. I'm making $250,000 a year. When I die, that is gone. If I would have died at TLC while I was making $250,000, Jordan wouldn't have gotten anything. That's it. That's all. Okay. So with 500, just like with the other level above, Crown Shepherd, with 500 players, you're still making $30,000 a month, but you're also getting profit sharing of 3%. Now, the next one down from that is our unicorn. The unicorn level is $2,500 investment, and your profit sharing is 2%. Okay. So 5 players will make you $75, $300 in a monthly return. 25 players makes you $1,500 a month. Okay. These are just the minimum numbers of $50. Okay. To play. Do you know $50 is gone like that on the platform? They're going to come back and load back up. I don't think y'all are thinking about it. $50 can be gone in 10 minutes. It can be gone in the first spin. Nah, not the first spin, because we're not going to have the bets be that high. But the first 10 minutes of them playing, they can lose that $50. And what are they going to do? Go and load up another $50, just like they would at the casino. You think somebody's going into the casino like a serious player, and they're going to put in $20 and they're going to be playing on the game, and they see that these bonuses are building up and they want to get that bonus? Hell, I did it the other day. I spent $60 just to win 40. Y'all don't think that's going to happen on the platform? That's what's going to happen on the platform. Okay. I spent $60 playing, 75-cent spins, and won $40 and was happy and left. I'm out. My niece would have sat there all day. I've watched my niece spend thousands of dollars playing online and in the physical casino. She will bet $100 spins online, but she wins thousands of dollars back. Okay. This is what's going to happen, guys. It's not going to be just somebody coming and spending $50. They're going to come and start with $50, But by the end of the time that they play, because the average player spends 3 hours a week, the average player, now I'm not even giving y'all average numbers, I'm giving y'all below average numbers. The average player spends $200 a week. That means some are spending more, some are spending less, right? But the average is spending 200. They're spending 3 hours a week on the platforms. $50 is not lasting you 3 hours. Okay? They're going to be loading up several times a week. I'm using the numbers to say they just loaded up $50 one time this week. So these numbers are low. Use your imagination. Okay? So you got 100 players on the unicorn level. You got 100 players. That means you're still earning 30% on the unicorn level, guys, but you're getting 2% profit sharing. So the numbers still are the same as the other two levels. Let's get to Golden Ram. This is when it goes down. Okay? Golden Ram, you get 25% payout on all of your players, and you get 1% profit sharing. We added that 1% to Golden Ram. So anybody that has already signed up as a Golden Ram, just know that we've given you an extra 1% profit sharing. Okay? Because when you signed up before, Golden Ram didn't have profit sharing. But we feel like we should be giving more. Okay? So as a Golden Ram at 25%, if you got 5 players doing $50, that's $250. Your take for the week is $32.50, and your monthly is $130. If you have 25, they brought in $1,250. Your take is $162.50. Monthly is $650. When you get up to 100, your monthly is $2,600. When you get up to 500, I don't know why 500 is on there twice, but I'll fix that before I post these. You get up to 500, your monthly on a Golden Ram membership is $13,000 a month. Let's do some math. $13,000 times 12. That's $156,000 a year.
Oh, that's quite nice.
That's $156,000 a year just because you invested $1,000 one time. Once. That's the difference. That's the other thing that I didn't take from MLM. You don't have to pay anything monthly to belong to Black Sheep Sweeps. This is a one-time kick in, and you are reaping the benefits forever. Because I don't like that monthly thing. I don't like that I have to, even though in business you have to spend money to make money, but I feel like in Black Sheep Sweeps, y'all might find a way to spend money to market. Like me, I'm gonna be buying some Facebook ads. I'm gonna be buying some ads on IG because I want to make my percentage. Okay, I'm just like y'all. I want to make my percentage. So I'm going to work my whatever I need to do. If I need to spend $50 this week on some Facebook ads or some IG ads or some TikTok ads, I'm going to do it. Because it's actually going to make me more money. That's going to make the platform more money. And that's going to make the profit sharing people more money. What's up, Bizarre? How you doing? So I'm going to do whatever I need to do. If I want to hire somebody to do some graphics, that's money that I'm spending for marketing, right? Y'all have the same ability to do that. This is your business. You can run it however you want to run it. Okay? However you want to get your word of mouth out, that is your business to do. Okay? There is not going to be no microman. Now, if you out here posting some crazy shit and some non-compliant shit, because we still got to stay compliant, guys. And I'll be sure to put all the rules and regulations in the group, and I will reiterate those things every few, weeks or whatever to remind people of what we can and cannot say online. Okay? But other than that, do what you do.
Are you going to have to sign something for the compliance to see?
No.
And
You don't have to. You don't have to. You just know the rules because your ass will get kicked out. If you are threatening by your actions to get our shit closed down, you will not be a part of this anymore. And there's no returning of your money and your account is void. Period. You ain't got to sign nothing. You're just going to be out. So if you show that you're going to be, you fucking it up for everybody, you got to go. Because there's always going to be somebody that fucks up the church's money. You ain't fucking up this church's money. I don't have to sign. You ain't got to sign nothing. Because people sign stuff all the time and still fuck it up. So what's the point?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody afraid of putting their signature on nothing. They're going to do what they want to do. I'm just letting you know you're going to lose your shit. We ain't going back and forth about it. If you got 2 or 3 times that you're doing stuff that we said is not cool, it's not kosher, and you're putting us all in jeopardy, you got to go. Look at that. Because I'm not throwing away the flock because we got one bad sheep. You feel me? We ain't throwing away the flock because this sheep really want to be black. And come on. There's a limit. There's a limit to being a black sheep now. We can't get crazy. But $156,000 in a year just referring people to the platform is not a bad look. Okay? It's not a bad look. Now let's go down to the other one so we can give y'all an idea, even if you start on the lower one. And Sonia, please get with me because Sonia had did a terrific job in making our referral program. Like, she's really good at doing that stuff and I'm really bad at doing that stuff. So I want to turn, Ryan, hold on. Ryan wants to come in. I want to turn what she did in our referral program, because our referral program is going to be ending as soon as we launch. But I want to turn her referral program into our tier program, meaning this is the program that when you start adding a certain amount of people, you go up to the next level of earning. Okay? So you're always going to be able to earn more. That's what sweat equity is. So the more people you bring to the platform, I believe you should be earning a bigger percentage. Okay? Because you're doing the work. So just because you came in at $100 doesn't mean that you can't be at 25%, that you can't be at the golden ram. You may be starting at 10, but you can work your way up to 25. That makes sense? Some of y'all don't want to work. I don't want to work that hard. So if I got the money, I'm just going to pay for my level. I'm being for real. I am being for real. I've worked too hard. I've done enough sweat equity. I've paid my dues. I'm tired. I just want to have fun working the business. So if I got the money, I'm going to put the money in and then go to work. If I don't have the money, I'm going to put in whatever money I got and then go to work. You feel me? So do what you can do, but be strategic about that shit. You just join. Where can I see what we're talking about? I'm going to have to, I don't know how to share the screen. And now I got to play around with the new Zoom. I'm real rusty on that, but I'm putting all of these graphics in the group as soon as the live is over. Okay. As soon as the Zoom is over, I'm going to put what I'm looking at into the group for you guys. So you'll have a visual. Okay. So on the next level down from Golden Ram, let me finish with Golden Ram first. With Golden Ram, at 500, you're doing $13,000 a month, and that is $156,000 a year. But you're also getting that 1% profit share on top of that. Okay. So the next level down from Golden Ram is our Young Ram, and that is a $500 investment. Okay, well, are you in anybody that's interested and wants to learn all about this and be a part of it? Definitely go and join our group on Facebook. Okay, the group is called Black Sheep Sweeps Founders. Okay, Black Sheep. Let me type it here and pin it. Hold on, Zoom. Black Sheep Sweeps Founders Group on FB. On on FB, and let me pin it. Send and pin. Perfect. Okay. So on our young Ram, that is a $500 investment. Okay. No profit sharing though. Boo. Okay. However, you got 5 players that play with that load up $50 each. That means this week your players have loaded up $250 to the platform. Your earnings at 20%, because that's what you earn at Young Ram, is $50. Okay, so you had 5 players that did the minimum of $50 and you made $50 back. Okay, that means this month you're going to earn $200 from just 5 players. You ain't having to talk to them people again. You ain't got to load up nothing. You ain't got to enter nothing. You don't have to do nothing. All they need is your CFC, which is your co-founder code, to sign up on the platform, and they're off to the races. Okay? So at 100 players loading up $50 each this week, because you're eventually going to get there, that's $2,500 that was loaded up to the platform. Your earnings is $500 this week, and your monthly is $2,000. Now, when you say you're going to earn $2,000 a month to somebody, that's usually in their realm of possibility, right? Those numbers are kind of realistic, right? When you start talking about $30,000, hey, I'm not talking to you. You don't even have an hands to gamble. What's going on? Okay. All right. What's up, Fats? What happened? Nothing? I'm almost done. So if you give me 5 more minutes to wrap it up, I'll be right with you. Oh, I'm hurrying. If you stop disrupting me. Go on now. Go on. Get your foot off the chair. Sheesh, man. Anyway, I need a smaller dog that I can handle. Fats is too big to. God, I'm afraid he would definitely win. For sure. So anyway, when you say to somebody, you can make an extra $2,000 this month, everybody's like, oh, okay, yeah. You can wrap your mind around that. But when you start talking about them other numbers like $30,000 a month, sometimes that intimidates people. Because what is it that Black people have been told our entire lives? Being rich is evil. Having money is evil. You know, being rich is bad. Haven't we been told that?
They say money is the
root of all evil. Being poor is the root of all evil. Exactly. Rich people are not walking down the street hitting people on heads and snatching their purses. Okay? They're not. I'm not saying that rich people aren't swindling us, because they most definitely are. Right? We see that shit every day. But as far as like being outside and beating people in the head and all that kind of shit, you're not going to see it. No rich people are on the road robbing people. Only rich people in the government.
Money solutions.
Exactly. So, and plus, if you're an evil person, you're going to be evil whether or not you're rich or you're poor. You're just an evil fucking person. Okay? Because trust me, I was making $50,000 a month for my house with my own recruitment firm. I'm still the same person now that I was then. I wasn't out like, whoa. You don't just turn into Pinky in the Brain because you got some money. That doesn't make any sense. Okay? You started out as an asshole. The money just made you more of an asshole. Period. Okay? I don't think any of us are going to turn into assholes when we get some money. I don't see that happening. Okay? So you got to open your mind up to receiving more And the trick to that is believing that you earn it. You earned it. You have to believe that you are worthy of that. Okay? Please don't come in here with the games today. Hey, Raven Simone's big sister. Shut up. As a matter of fact, you know what? Here, let me help you out because you're just too goofy. We don't have time to be playing around you. This is the black space. We don't want nobody but black people today. Get out. Anywho, some people just play too much. Everything's a joke. Everything's funny. I don't think anything about what we're doing is funny. I think right now what is required of us is serious shit. Serious action. None of this marching around in the streets begging somebody to give us some fucking rights. I'm not begging nobody for nothing. Okay? This country is not built on begging for nothing. Everything that anybody has in this country, they had to fucking take it. Okay? Now, they may have been savage about it, and we don't have to be savage about it, but everything in this country, nobody gets anything by asking for anything. It takes action. Okay?
Is that racially motivated?
Yes, everything we do is racially motivated, Ryan. You're in the wrong place. So remove.
Is it because of my skin color?
Absolutely because of your skin color.
So,
have a good day. Goodbye. Do, 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 do. Bye. He's gone. He's gone on this and he's gone on that. Again, unapologetic. It is so amazing to me how white people love to try to make black people feel bad about protecting our space. Okay? I done said it before and I'll say it again. We don't want to be around you. He was here for what? 5 seconds and he was annoying. Okay? No, he's gone. He's been removed. Period. And I'm unapologetic, but is it because of my rice? You're expecting me to say no, it's not? I'm not. No, it is. As I have shared with y'all before, they are not good for our health. The minute they show up, everything about our physiology changes. Our blood pressure, they literally, by the sight and sound of them, trigger us. Okay? And I don't want to be triggered today. I don't want to be triggered never because my heart depends on me not getting triggered. So if that means me not having any interaction with people that trigger me, I'm going to do that. That's what it means to protect your peace. That's what it means to protect your health. And that's what I'm going to do. Their feelings are not a priority of mine. My feelings are a priority of mine. Okay? And I want y'all all to have that same mindset. I'm not going to do anything to make them feel better when they do everything in their power to make us feel worse. No. Okay? So when I'm doing my part is building a safe space for us. Again, you're back. So, you know what? Let me just block you this time. Okay? What? No. Let's ask him. Why are you so obsessed with us? You don't have any white friends you can go and play with? You don't have any? Because I'm pretty sure that there are white people that you can go and congregate with. You do not have to congregate with us. Period. So now he's back on the YouTube. So that's a question that I would love for you to answer because you are still the same person that the other day made that very offensive comment about men being able to have sex with black women since they won't have welfare anymore. You act like I don't remember that. Right? I don't care if you're black. You're not black enough. Remove. You need to be blacker than that. Okay. So anywho, back to the numbers. Hide the user on this channel. There we go. The user's messages will be hidden. No more triggers. So let's talk about the next level of earning that we have. The next level of earning down from the young ram is wool riser. As a wool riser, that is a $250 investment. That earns you 15%. Okay. So unfortunately, you don't get any profit sharing on that. Okay. So let's do the numbers again. As a five, you got 5 players that loaded up $50 this week. That means you've earned $37.50. And in a monthly time, if they do it again next week and the next week and the next week, that makes you $150. So let's look at 25. 25 players gets you $185. 100 players gets you $750. That's $3,000 a month. Okay, that's $3,000 a month doing nothing. You just word of mouth. There are certain people that I know that I have been dealing with for years that may not be black, but they're black to me. Does that make sense? Azara. They may not be black, but they black to me. Black enough. These ordinary people I don't know nothing about, you ain't black enough for me. If I don't know you and we ain't dealt with each other and you ain't purchased products from me and we ain't communicated ever, you're not black enough for this opportunity. That you're black enough to go buy CE Organics, but you're not black enough for this opportunity. Okay? I'm not apologizing for that. God damn it, we deserve a space for ourselves. We don't have to be exclusive. We can be inclusive. We don't have to be inclusive. We can be exclusive. I remember when I was organizing events back in the day, and I created a social group. Created it from nothing when I lived in DC. And it became so big that clubs were calling me to bring my group into their nightclubs. Okay. So I remember this white lady got mad. Now, mind you, I had certain standards for this group. You had to be physically attractive. You had to be making a certain amount of money. You know, I had rules that I stuck to, rules and standards. And she did not fit the rules or the standard. And she got pissed and she was like, well, I'm going to report. Report it to who? Who are you going to report it to? This ain't an HR situation. This is my club you want to be a part of. And I am telling you that there are other clubs that will cater to people like you. Just like in Sinners. Just like in Sinners when the white people showed up at the juke joint. And they had to tell them, no, there are plenty of juke joints that y'all can go and party in. Why y'all want to party in ours? Y'all the same people that don't want to be bothered with us, but the minute we disappear, you're looking for us. You're the same people that say every time we turn up to a protest, every time I'm not admitting nobody else to that. I don't know who Jack is, and you're too late. So I'm removing you. I'm not doing that again. Okay. I don't even know how he got in here because he's supposed to have a code. So where'd he get the code from? Anywho, like I was saying, just like you said, what?
Might be in the back sheet group on your Facebook.
Well, he's going to get removed from that when I figure out who he is. Don't you worry about that. Because there's a lot of white people in that group and we need to get them out. They're just sitting there lurking. There are They're not investing. They're not being a part of it. I think that Facebook just sent out invitations to everybody. So they're just in the group. There are people that just like to be in groups. And this is not that type of group. Okay? This is the group for people that have invested in this business venture that we're doing. So if you're not here to do that, then you don't need to be in this group. I mean, it's just that simple. You can go to the healing group. Anybody can go to the heal by blood type. Everybody can benefit from that. This is a very specific demographic. Okay? It's not hard to understand. I'm tired of being polite to protect everybody else, but nobody protects us. I'm going to protect us. If nobody else ain't going to do it, I'll do it. Okay? So we are not, I mean, they can come and play. This is not going to be a black only platform that only black people can come and play. They can come and play all day. But as far as being black owned, it need to be by black people. Now, shit, there has to be a line that's drawn. Y'all want to be with us? Give us some fucking money. Period. I don't think that that's a problem because we've been giving money to white businesses all of our lives. So why should you feel some kind of way about giving money to black businesses? Y'all are the same people. Y'all, I need y'all to keep that same energy because y'all the ones that want us to go back to Africa. But the minute we look like we packing our bags, you're like, but where are you going? Can we go too? Because I'm a huge proponent of if you don't want to see us, we will disappear. And that also means our black dollars will disappear. I've been screaming for a long time. The only way to fix these people is to not give them our money. Y'all acting like this shit is a novel idea. Like, oh, we're going to boycott Black Friday and Cyber Monday. No, that shit needs to be a month. That shit needs to be a year like it was before. And Leviticus with your white ass, you about to get put out too. I don't even know why you did that. You could have just sat your dumb ass in the fucking shadows. Bye. Goodbye. Why come out? If you want to sit there and take some notes, you should have just sat your dumb ass there and took some notes. Any other white person want to get put out? Any other white people want to get put out? Okay. Because at this point, I can turn on everybody's camera if I want to. I can see you. I can see you if I want to. You see what I'm saying? There's too many unserious people. And right now, black people can't afford to be unserious. And we also don't have time to be around people that are not serious. I don't have the time to be playing with somebody's little kids, little white boys sitting up here playing in our fucking comments. These little white boys are the most dangerous people in the country right now. I certainly don't want to be around a bunch of white teenagers. Okay? I don't want to be around no white 20-somethings ever. Because y'all the motherfuckers shooting up everything. It ain't us. Y'all so fearful of us and we're not the ones. It's them. So if ain't nobody else gonna say it out loud, I'll say it out loud. I don't want to be around them. They are dangerous. Not only are they dangerous to our health, they're dangerous to our mortality. Okay? So if that makes me racist, fine. I don't care. Because y'all don't even understand what racism is. I am definitely a bigot. Okay? I'm very bigoted. And as well as you should be, everybody should be bigoted because you don't know who to trust until you figure it out. Everybody should have their fucking wall up at this point. Like, I don't know you like that. Okay? I don't like people, period. as a whole, I don't like people until I like you. Because I don't trust people until I trust them. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not one of those people that waits for people to hurt me. I'm going to be like, I'm going to always be on my guard. I give everybody the side eye until you give me a reason not to side eye you. Okay? And all of y'all sitting here are people that I've been dealing with for years. Y'all have supported my business. That's why I know whenever I hear people say, oh, black people don't support black businesses, that's a damn lie. That is a damn lie. Because every business I've ever had has been fully supported by black people. Fully. The life that I live has been fully afforded by black people. And no, I don't cater to nobody but black people. If white people and other races want to come along and learn from me, that's fine. But act like you got some sense. The people that we have the problem with ain't never us. The people I have a problem with ain't never us. Okay? We don't support niggas. I don't understand I know you. And I don't even understand your comment. Okay? Maybe we just don't support bad business. Maybe people should say that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care who owns the business. If the business is bad, I'm not going to support it. Period. I don't just support businesses because they're black owned. I support businesses that are good businesses that just happen to be owned by black people. Nobody should be guilted. I'm not even trying to guilt black people into doing black sheep sweeps because I know that the right people are going to come along. I don't have to guilt people like, yeah, it's black owned. You should support it because it's black owned. No, you should support it because the shit's about to be bombed. You should support it because it's going to give people a lot of money in their pocket, a lot of money to do other things that they dream about. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not leaving this earth without owning a laundromat. If I'm going to have my dream portfolio, it would be one laundromat, one parking lot, one public storage, one franchise restaurant. Right? I want 5. And and there's this new thing that I just saw. I'm telling you, the things that are necessities just give me so much passion. Like, these are things that are never going to go away and things that are recession proof. No matter what's going on in the recession, people are going to need to wash their cars. I mean, and not their cars, but their clothes. There are too many car washes. I don't need another car wash. But clothes, put a laundromat near a college. Put a laundromat on a college campus. You said that too, but in the black community, most will state that they don't support niggas in quotes. We will support a well-run black business that has excellent customer service. Yeah, well, I just feel like anybody can be a nigga. I don't think being a nigga is a race thing at this point. I think because I just think anybody can display niggerish ways, if that makes sense. Okay. But I just think that people are discriminatory with their money, and they should be. I think that you should only support businesses that support you, and you should only support businesses that are good, whether that's black or white. Now, where we are at this time, I don't want to give white businesses my money because I don't feel like they are doing enough to support the people that have gotten them where they are. Like, why is Amazon not giving back? Why are all these companies not giving back? Okay. Why are they not doing more? Why is Nike not doing more? Why is Adidas not doing more? Why are these large corporations that we support, why are they not putting back into it? So I say, don't give them no more money. This is how, between the 20s and the 70s, black people were earning more money than white people. because we weren't allowed to participate in these markets, the mortgage industry, the stock market, banks, all these other things. So we had to create a parallel economy. We had to, in order to survive and thrive. But when their shit crashed, our shit didn't crash. So when you had the stock market crash, when you had the banking crisis, when you had all that stuff, we weren't involved in those things. And then you had the nerve to get mad at us because you didn't let us participate. Your shit fucked up, and now we still have our money. And now you're mad at us. So now you want to come and burn our towns down. The towns that we had to build out of necessity because you didn't want us living next to you. You see how that shit is weird to me? You don't want us living next to you, but when we build our own communities, you burn them down. You don't want us shopping at your grocery stores, so when we build our own grocery stores, you burn them down. You don't want us putting our money in your banks, so when we build our own banks, you burn them down. Now you want us all to leave the country. What the hell do you think you're going to do when we leave the country? You're going to burn it down. Because what the fuck were they doing before they discovered us? I mean, let's be real about it for a second. White people have been killing other white people for centuries, since the dawn of time. All of Europe did nothing but war against other white people until you saw black people. And then when you saw black people, you did it just like you do everything else. When they see something that looks differently than them, they feel the urge, the necessity, it's in their DNA to conquer it. They feel the need to say, ha, that thing needs to be beneath me. I need to conquer it. I need to break it down. I need to own it. That's what they do with all the animals. And when they saw us, they thought we were animals. And for centuries, they treated us like animals. There's still a lot of those great grandparents still alive today that hands down that same mindset. They still think we are animals. And we've never been. We've always been the most civilized of all of the humans. Anybody that can't work in concert with nature is an abomination to nature. They don't work in concert with nature. Every other race of people, from the Native Americans to the Africans to the Asians, all of us work in and respect nature. They're the only ones that destroy. Okay? So when black people build something, they're going to do everything in their power to destroy it. That's why I don't want them to be a part of what we're building. Okay? There was a time in our history when we did not ask permission from anybody. We saw that this was necessary to save our communities. We saw that this is what we needed to do to survive on our own, because they wouldn't let us participate. And we need to get back to that, because right now, with everything that this administration is doing, they are literally trying to turn back the hands of time. And I'm telling y'all, if they turn back the hands of time, that's not really a bad thing for black people. Even though Donald Trump is who he is, what I saw was a bigger picture with Donald Trump. He is destroying all of the norms and all of the things that were put in place. That's reality. But our reality should be all the stuff that he's breaking down is now forcing us to get back to who we were in the beginning. I don't think that's a bad thing. If he wants to make America great again, that also applies to us, because there was a time when black people had it really good in America. Really good. And those are the times that he's trying to bring back. So when they're trying to bring Jim Crow back, we were thriving in Jim Crow. So what? We couldn't drink from white people's fucking water fountains. Why did we want to drink from white people's water fountains? Knowing what we know about their hygiene, why the fuck would we even want to drink at their water fountains? Hello? You mean to tell me we were fighting to eat unseasoned food? From hands that probably were not washed? Certainly from bodies that weren't washed. We were fighting, getting beat up by dogs and ate up by dogs and sprayed with water hoses and shit to go and eat unseasoned chicken? We were hoodwinked into giving up our community and our money, guys. And the trade-off was unseasoned chicken and white-only pies. That was the trade-off. The trade-off for destroying our community of Black businesses was unseasoned chicken and white-only pies. You know, it only took 9 years for us to go from owning more homes in America to ghettos. 9 years. From the time of the civil rights movement to the time that Lyndon Baines Johnson started constructing ghettos, housing projects and putting all these social. Yeah, Malcolm was always right. That's why I was a Malcolm fan. I was never an MLK. I was never on the side of MLK. Me and my cousin were laughing about this shit the other day. I was like, remember when I used to hang out with all them white people? And he busted out laughing. Because all the way up to my senior year of high school, I was hanging out with white people. Like, my family was like, you don't have no Black friends? My family was asking me that. You don't have no Black friends? And I'd be like, you guys are bigots. Yeah. And then my very clever uncle, he was so clever. His nickname was Witty because he was a very witty guy. That was his name. His name was Lawrence, but everyone called him Witty. Gave me the autobiography of Malcolm X going into my senior year of high school. So all of those friends that I had all the way up to my senior year of high school were now blue-eyed devils when I got back to school. And they couldn't understand it. I started going to Farrakhan rallies and I became extremely militant. Like, I was all into Public Enemy. I had a jacket that had Public Enemy on the back, Public Enemy #1 and shit. I was a very radical Black supremacist. If I would have been born back then, I definitely would have been in the Black Panthers for sure. For absolute sure, I would have been a Black Panther. Okay? Because I'm a Black Panther now. So my whole thing is, make America great is not a bad thing. Making America great again is not a bad thing for us. And we have to stop thinking that it is, because it's not. Because what this is going to do is to motivate us to get back to our roots. And our roots is making $1 out of 15 cents. And not only making $1 out of 15 cents, but making it together. If that means us building up our own Black communities again and segregating ourselves again and building our own Black businesses again, then that's what it's going to take. These people have shown that they have absolutely no tolerance for us, so let's just disappear. We ain't got to leave the country to disappear. We ain't got to leave the country to disappear. We just have to create enclaves of Blackness. Okay? And this time, make sure they don't burn it down. We have to be unapologetic about our Blackness right now. We have to be unapologetic about our moves. We have to be unapologetic about what it is we need to do to save future generations of Black people. Because if we don't do it, it's going to not be done. So I'll do my part. I can't do all of it, but I will do my part. And my part is creating something that's going to create a foundation of money for us to go and do the other things that we want to do. You mean to tell me that $30,000 a month ain't going to be able to get you a dry cleaners or a laundromat? You mean that $30,000 a month ain't going to be able to get you a parking lot or buy you some land to build a compound for you and your family? $30,000 a month can't help you do that? Because $30,000 a month, that's like $4 million a year. Hold on. My math be crazy. I'm not really good at math. So $30,000 a month is what? That's 300. That's almost $500,000 a year, right? Times 12. That's $360,000 a year. This is the minimum though. Because remember, we're only multiplying it by $50. Imagine if they're doing the average of $200 a week. Okay? Not just $50 a week, but $200 a week. Then this $360,000, exactly, I'll take it. From home, and you ain't got to follow up with nobody. You ain't got to go in traffic and deal with bosses you don't want to deal with. You mean to tell me, even if it's just an extra $10,000, even if it's just an extra $2,000 a month, you mean to tell me you don't want an extra $2,000 a month? That you ain't got to do no extra work to do? You mean to tell me you can't use an extra $5,000 a month? That's an extra $60,000 a year. You mean to tell me you can't use that? Who can't use an extra $60,000? Especially if you don't have to do any real extra shit. Like you ain't got to go get a second job and deal with a second boss and all this other shit. Okay? And so how this works is you're going to get just like in MLM, you would get like a 1099 and you're responsible for paying those taxes. We're not taking no taxes out of nothing. That's your job. Okay? As a contractor, which is what you are when you're an MLM, that's the same setup we're going to have here. So at the end of the year, you're going to get your little 1099 and then you can go file your taxes and pay whatever it is you owe. I just suggest, putting 25% away every time you get paid. I don't care if that's just $25. Just sock it away for Uncle Sam. Okay? Simple shit. Just pay what you owe and keep it moving. Okay? But the Wool Riser is $250 investment, and then the lowest minimum investment is $100, and that's the Little Lamb. Unfortunately, with Little Lamb, you do not get profit sharing, okay? But it's just simply $100, and what you could make with that is 10% of every single dollar that your player loads onto the platform to play games. Okay, so if you got 5 players that invested $50, that means you're going to make $25 this week. You got 100 players, that's $500 this week. Because eventually you're going to get to 100 players. You got 500 players, that's $2,500 a week you're making just at 10%. Okay, so every month that's $10,000 a month you're making because you got 500 people that are spending just $50 a month. Imagine that these people are spending $200 a week because that's what the average player spends in online casinos. Okay, so you're looking at an extra $10,000 a month when you get up to 500. It's not going to take. It should not take you no year to get up to 500. Okay, so everything that I post in the group, you guys are free to go and post. Everyone should make their own Facebook group. So let me tell you how this works. Once you become a co-founder, you should go and make you a Facebook group and a Facebook page. Okay, with the name of whatever you want your group to be. That is where you're going to invite any players that you have. Most people are on Facebook. Okay, when people say I don't have a Facebook page, you're like, wow, because Facebook is for old people. All right. So most people are on Facebook, and even if they're not, they can just make a profile and be on there. But that's where you want your people to be, because that's where you can go and post. You can tell them about all the specials that we have. We're always going to have incentives and specials and deals on the platform that will get your players to come and play. And every time they come and play, you make money. So we're always going to have those. So when you have your group and you're posting, hey, today is 50% off of your load up, or you get 50% more coins when you spend $200. You see what I'm saying? That's $200 you're going to earn your percentage off of. So we're always going to have those. So you will come to the main group and see all the posts that I make and go into your individual groups and post those things. Once a week, I encourage you to do what I did last week, was to come live and play. Okay, share your screen with your players and go live in your group. So when you go live, you actually go live on your page, but it shows in your group. Okay, so you go and play, go live in front of your group. That's another thing you could invest in. You take your $50 and you go play and share your screen and go live with your group. That's going to motivate your group to go and play, because they're going to want to play with you. And the platform is going to be so amazing, because we're going to be able to, each group is going to be able to have their own chats that you guys can communicate on the platform with your players. Okay. So even if they're not on Facebook, you will still be able to group them up on the platform and tell them stuff and send them out the deals that we have going on. And the deals are always, when they're playing, always are going to be popping up on the screen. So we'll have deals that say, oh, load up now and get double your coins or whatever, right? While they're playing. So while they're already done loaded up, they're going to load up again. So we're going to keep these people on this platform as long as we can, because the longer they stay on the platform, the more money they're going to spend. And that's a percentage you're going to get. Okay? This is what all of the online casinos do. All of them. And this is how they're making $10 billion a month just here in the U.S. $10 billion. What were you saying, Tashina?
So when can we start playing, like how you play? Do you know how you feel?
I was just on another platform.
Oh, okay.
Our platform is not finished yet.
Right.
Okay. But you guys can go. Listen, if you want to go play for free, because Fortune Coins is a sweepstakes site that you don't even win money. That's what I was playing on the other day. That's not like ours. It kind of gives you the look and feel. It gives you the idea of what our platform will be like, but our platform will have more things on it, like the chat and the shop and all those other things. Those things are not on Fortune Coin. But if you want to get an idea of the games, a lot of the games on Fortune Coin will be on our platform. The way that you load up, because on there they just give you coins to play with. Okay, that's how they make money. Is people, they have these pop-ups, and then they have the shop where you can go and buy packages of coins, but those coins are literally just to play on that platform. That is not money. So you will spend like $4.99 and get like 2 million coins, like Monopoly money. So you're spending $2.99, but you're getting 1 million Monopoly dollars, where you can go all over the platform and play to your heart is content. And so they give you all of these free coins all day. Like if you've logged in every day, you get bonus coins. If you logged in from Facebook, you get bonus coins. So they have all these different ways for you to get these free coins. But if you run out of those free coins, you have to buy Monopoly money, which cannot be cashed out for real money. Ours is, you're buying Monopoly money and then you cash it out for real money.
Yeah.
Okay. There will be free coins to get people on the platform, and that works every day. Oh, you log in every day, you get some free coins. But when those coins run out, you playing with real dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's how that works. But I would suggest everybody goes over and makes an account on fortunecoins.com because,
Okay.
or slots, what is it? Slotomania is another one. And you guys will get the idea of what online platforms are like. And you'll see every single time you hit, you'll see the potential of how much money you're going to make being a part of Black Sheep Sweeps.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's going to do for you. That's why I suggest everybody go and just go spend an hour today. Have a good time. Because those of you that are like me, you're going to really like it because you're just playing for fun. You're really going to like it. So there are some days I just go on there and just play for fun because it's relaxing. I'm having a good time. You know what I mean? I haven't risked anything. I haven't spent anything. But just go over there and play. Okay?
And when will the site be finished?
I'm going to tell y'all right now, it's not going to be done by Black Friday, but it will be done before Christmas. Right now, it's looking like we're going to be at the end of the first week of December or the second week. But we're going to get 2 weeks before that because I didn't want anybody to stress out, and I certainly don't want to stress myself out, and I don't want them to rush and do it wrong. Okay?
Yeah.
And what we do is when we get the site, we get 3 months to change anything that needs to be improved, anything that needs to be added. We got 3 months to do that with the company, and then it's set in stone. So as soon as we get it, we'll start playing on it first, and we'll see if there are any bugs or anything that needs to be added or anything that needs to be changed. And then we'll get that done, and then we'll launch before. I would say let's do it on Christmas Day because I'm not doing Christmas. And if I have my way, I don't think any Black person should be doing Christmas this year. I just don't. Because what if you can give, because this could be a good idea. This could be a really good seller for us. What if we give gift cards for Black Sheep Sweeps for Christmas?
Yeah.
I think that would be a good idea. We can set up gift cards, and you can select different denominations. You can give somebody $20, $50, or $100.
Yeah. Cool.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, for Kashmir coins.
Exactly. So trust and believe I'm gonna set that up. But it's not going to be done for Black Friday. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because it would have been a rush job, and it wouldn't have had all of the stuff done the way it needs to be done for it to be successful. And I don't want us to start off on the wrong foot. But definitely get your minds wrapped around Christmas, because that gives y'all enough time to also start building up your groups and start getting and building anticipation with your people, so that when we launch, you're not like scrambling to find players. Your players are already there. They're already waiting. Okay. And in the meantime, if y'all are just jonesing for a place to go and play, there are plenty of places you can go and play. I would say Slotomania is one that's really fun, and Fortune Coins are really fun. And also, if you can get on my niece's in your state, there's Starlight Casino. I don't really fuck with my niece, but you can go over there and see. It's called starlightcasino.com, and hers is like ours will be. You can play with real money, or you can play with fake money. So those are 3 you can play right now until Black Sheep is up. Any other questions that you guys have before we go? Because I'm going to revise the images and put them in the group for the earning.
They've got their gamification where you can do audio. So like if everyone's playing on the Black Sheep sites at the same time, and then we're competing to be in the leaderboard, do we have like audio? Do you ever see like the games like those card games like GTA and whatever? They can press the little audio button on the screen, and then they can talk to each other and be like, yeah, we're going to get in the car now.
That's when, I think you're talking about live play. That's a live play thing.
Yeah.
There will be a segment of live play on the other casino that we're making.
Okay.
Sweepstakes is not like ordinary casinos. Okay. Sweepstakes casinos are what's allowed in America. You're in the UK.
Yeah.
You guys are wide open to regular casinos. The next casino that we build, which I want to call the Motherland Casino, that one is going to be international. And that's going to be a real casino. So that one's going to have the live play and the poker dealers and roulette and all that stuff on it, because that's a real casino internationally. But in the US, we can only do sweepstakes.
Right.
And that's something that's only been around for less than 10 years. And it didn't gain traction until COVID, when everybody was in the house. So because of the laws and the regulations in America, we cannot have the casinos that you guys have there. We have to have sweepstakes. But we're coming. I would say by next summer. I want to release the Motherland Casino by next summer.
Okay.
So we're going to get this one up and running first, make money from this one, and then make the second one. And then all of you guys can be grandfathered in and get it on the ground floor of that one. That one's going to be the one that is going to be a ton of money, because it's going to be Africa. It's whatever countries we want to open it up to, we are wide open to. And that is on another level. Like the earning potential on real casinos is on a whole other level. And so let's just start with this one first. Get our foot in the door, learn about what we're doing, get that shit down pat, and then open up the real one for Africa and the UK and any other countries we want to deal with. That's the real shit. That's a whole other level. I'm ready for that, but let's just get this one moving, and then we're on to the next. Okay? Does anybody else have any other questions before we go?
You keep this like audio going when you do your live stream.
Yeah, I know. You just be trying to keep me online all day, and I don't understand that. I think it's weird. Stop trying to keep me on here. I got shit to do. I got 2 dogs that's back here pacing back and forth that need my attention, and I gotta pee, and I'm hungry, and I gotta finish these images. So does anybody else have any other questions before we go? Like, go, Miss Danielle. Let's go.
The published sharing date is that set in stone? Because I thought it was going to be revert back to the original amount that was agreed on or set up perhaps.
Can you say that again? Start.
Remember the profit sharing, the 10,000, the 5,000, and the 2,500.
Yeah.
Actually, it was 1%, 2%, 3%. Now
it's gone up. We increased it.
Okay, so it's not going to be revert back.
No, I'm gonna keep it there.
Right. I wasn't sure about that.
I was doing it as a special, but we're not. If you got in before the special, then yeah, you got that extra percentage. But I want to keep it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want you guys to get as much from this experience as possible.
Gotcha.
Because I like I'm saying, like, how much money do people actually need? You know what I mean? Like, I don't. My mindset is, you know, there are people that own things and they're like, I don't want to give a percentage away. I don't want to give away a bigger piece of the pie. But I feel like this is just our first one, and this is going to set us up for success with the rest of the ones that we want to build. And there are so many businesses that we need to do. And so people need to earn as much money as possible. I have no interest in being the only one that's opening up businesses. I want y'all to make money to go and open up businesses in your communities. Okay? I want to focus on this and my fucking laundromat. I want that laundromat. I'm not playing around. Like, I'm obsessed. But also I want you guys to have laundromats too. Like, what if it's just 10, 15 of us, right? If it's 20 of us, what if we all bought a laundromat? What if we all bought a parking lot? What if we all bought a franchise restaurant? Because that's what it's going to take. You have your communities that you need to be putting businesses in. Oh, my laptop about to die. So let me wrap this up. Literally, my laptop is about to die. Okay, somebody put something in the chat. Oh, that was Jesse. Does anybody else have any questions that they need to ask me right now? G, if you're in, excuse me, dirty face. those of you that are interested in doing this, please either DM me or go and join the Black Sheep Sweeps Founders Group. Where you go to get your membership is blacksheepgameroom.com. Okay. There will always be dirty clothes. There will always be people that want their nails and hair done. There's always going to be people that want to eat something, parking lots, all of that. And we need money to create those things in our own communities. None of us live in the same places. So you got work in your community. You got work in your community. I got work in my community. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will see you guys online. Anybody?
What's it? Slotto Mania, and what was the other one again?
Fortunecoins.com. Okay. So let me wrap you up on Zoom. My laptop is about to die, but I'm still on Instagram and YouTube if you guys want to go over there.
All right. Nice to speak.
Nice to speak to you finally. Okay, guys. So I'm still online over here if you guys just want to join. But let me close out on this laptop before it dies on us. Love you guys. Bye. Okay, fat daddy. Woo, my laptop was like, bitch. So does anybody over here have any questions about Black Sheep Sweeps before we go? Touch, do you have a question? Come here. Come here. Do you have a question? When you getting off? That's the only question Fats has. So to get your membership, it is blacksheepgameroom.com. Okay. You can select from $100 all the way up to $10,000. I've seen your pup. Your pup is too cute too, Nelly Jean. So you can start as low as 100 or come in as high as 10,000 to become a co-founder. So again, the levels of earning is the $10,000 level, the $5,000 level, the $2,500 level, and the $1,000 level all come with, well, not 1,000. So the Crowned Shepherd, which is the top, which is 10,000. Then we have the Alpha Ram, which is the 5,000. Okay. And then we have the Unicorn. Those are all 30% in earning. Yeah, you can still add money to your membership level. Yes, to level up. So anybody that's already joined on a lower level and you want to upgrade to one of the other levels, then just send me a message and then you can just send the difference between the level you joined on and the level you want to go to on Cash App, and then I'll change that. Okay. So what we've done is we've increased the profit sharing on all three of those levels. So now the top level earns 5% in profit sharing. The Alpha Ram, you're distracting me. The $5,000 you get 3% profit sharing. The $2,500 you get 2% profit sharing, and then we added a 1% profit sharing to Golden Ram. Golden Ram to me is the most, I would say, efficient. Efficient's not the word. I would say this is probably the most attainable. Okay. Golden Ram is $1,000. Most multi-level companies that you join, you're joining at $1,000. Okay. So that's not unusual. I think I've never paid lower than $1,000 to belong to any multi-level marketing company. Okay. So Golden Ram is $1,000. You earn 25% of every single dollar your player loads up to play on the platform. And then you earn 1% profit sharing. Okay. The Cash App is $CE Organics. Okay. If you need to DM me to get the right spelling, but it's $CE Organics. Thank you. Yeah, your tea is on the way. So if you can find $1,000, or even if you just joined on a lower level and you can get to $1,000 before we launch, you'll be a Golden Ram at 25%. Okay. The next one is our Young Ram, and that's 500. Yes, that's it. $CE Organics. Our next one is our Young Ram, and that's $500. No profit sharing, but you do earn 20%. Then we have Wool Riser, which is 15%, no profit sharing. And then there's Little Lamb, and that's $100, no profit sharing, but you get 10%. So 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%, 30%. And then the top three are 30%. Okay. This one-time investment can make y'all hundreds or thousands of dollars per week. This is not like MLM where you're paying every month to get, you had to put in for some auto ship just to stay active, just to make your money. You're investing one time, you're creating players that are yours forever, and you're creating real residual income. And there is no limit to how many players you can have. Okay. Most importantly, if and when something happens to you, you can hand that account down to your kids or any other family member that you want to pass it down to, which is very much unlike any multi-level marketing company in existence. When you die, anything that you done built up just goes away. This is about, for real, building legacy. This is about really creating something that your kids can inherit from you. Okay? And I'm not trying to be a bitch about it, but it is black owned. And so this is an opportunity that I'm creating for Black people to be owners. I'm not saying that Black people only can play on the platform, but we need to create safe space for us. No offense, white folks. I love you. But sometimes we just got to do for ourselves. Okay? So I will see y'all back here tomorrow on the live. We'll continue talking about our health because we got to get to the bottom of why we're having so many health issues, why we're having so much heart disease. And one of the things is racism. And nobody's paying attention. So let me go and revise a couple of these images and put them in the group to show you guys the potential of how many players you have and what you can earn with that amount of players. I'll be putting that in the group, and give me a couple of hours to do what I need to do, and then I'll have them in there. Okay? So I love you guys, and I'll see you guys back here again tomorrow. Bye. Boop, 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 boop. Come on, fat.